welcome to the Home Trails podcast. So we're well into 2026 now. The spine race has gone, it's been and gone, but there'll still be some spine related episodes, obviously, as we sort of wrap up coverage of this year's races. So we'll have some interviews, post-race interviews with people coming up, including myself and my notorious DNF that I had in Spine Challenges South. But we'll have some interviews with winners and people involved with the race to sort of wrap up that coverage for this year. Then we'll possibly have some Arc of Attrition stuff going on. Then we'll move into our spring stuff, which will be the lap, etc., etc. And there's some big things coming this year, some exciting projects that I've got on the go. So keep your eyes peeled for that content. But in the meantime, let's dive into our interview. Yes, we are recording. So welcome for the first time, hopefully not the last time. Welcome the first time to the Home Trails podcast, Sarah Page.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to chatting to you. And I listened to you and Charlotte this morning on my run, which was a lot of fun. So like, gear me up, ready for this chat. So yeah, here I am. Hello.
Amazing. Yes. Charlotte is. I think we've officially lost count of how many times she's been on the podcast. It's kind of like a bit of a running joke now that whenever she does a race, she comes on and talks about it. So yeah,
what a fab guest to have and chat about race with her enthusiasm. So
yeah, she has got a lot of enthusiasm and she can talk. So I never ever worry. I don't ever really like prepare for a podcast with her because I know that we'll just start talking and she's gone. So,
awesome.
But I have prepared for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm honoured.
It's the privilege of being. Yes, I have fully prepared for you. So I've got some questions for you. But first off, the question that I literally only just warned you about before we hit record is the superhero question. So I'll explain what it is. So all superheroes have an origin story, how they became the superhero, the backstory. So what's your backstory? What's your superhero origin story? How did you become Sarah Page, the Sarah Page that we all know now? Everybody knows who you are now.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind. Thank you. That's a really special question, and it's quite hard to know.
I should have warned you. I should have warned you. Sorry.
When I was one, when I was two, no.
I always say you can go back as far as you like, or as
I'll
try or little.
I've always sort of run. I'm a hockey. I've sort of played club hockey, not particularly high, but club hockey as an adult, and sort of run to keep fitness a little bit on the side, and did a couple of marathons, and nothing to sort of shout about, but it was all good. And then in 2019, I'd been just 6 months separated from my daughter's dad, and a friend from school said, "Oh, why don't we do 100k?" Did the Cotswolds Way Ultra Challenge, 100k. And we got to the end and I loved it. And she was like, never doing that again. And then I guess with the girls occasionally going to their dads, gave him all time at weekends. And then in fast forward, I did the Isle of Wight Ultra Challenge in 2019. That's lovely, that one.
Yeah.
So 2019, I did that one. And yeah, again, loved it. And then in fast forward again a few more years, I've got a godson who, when I get a bit emotional, I get a bit of a stutter, so that's part of Sarah Page, and that's okay.
It's fine.
But my godson's got a very rare medical condition called CCHS, and I wanted to. It's been a massive journey for my bestie and her husband, and I wanted to raise money and raise awareness. So I was like, I need to do something quite special and something big. So South Downs Way's on my doorstep. I'm down south. And it had to be a little bit more than 100k that's going to push me. So I was like, 100 miles, like on the South Downs Way, tick the box, job done. Like, raise money for charity. And I met this amazing man who sadly died in April of cancer, but he took me on as a bit of a project. He wasn't a coach, but he was into fitness. So like he was like, and a sort of sports massage and stuff. And he sort of really embraced the journey. So he was sort of coaching me and learning the ropes too, as he were. And then South Downs Way, I did the Ultra X as a sort of a warm up 75k. Again, that's near where I live. And with a sprint finish, I won that. And I was like, training seems to be going quite well then. And then South Downs Way, I rocked up, and it was the one, it was 30-degree heat. It was like a super, super hot one. And won.
Wow.
And that sort of was the start, really.
So is this like, is it almost been like a surprise to you then
A
that
hundred percent,
that you're
Sam.
so good at
No,
it?
no, not so good. Just no, no, no,
Because you are so good
no.
at
Just
it.
you're right. You're right. This is all sort of landed. I can't blame Safe for doing it for raising money because she's like, "You're a nutty. You're still running so far." But it was just something. It was just something very special, and um, it's amazing how you can find something so late on in your life. Like I'm not
Mm,
saying I'm super old, but like I was, 42, when I did the South Downs Way, and it's just really just grown from there.
mm,
It's just going. But I still feel quite like Charlotte was saying this morning. I still feel quite new to the sport. Like it's only been a
mm,
couple, like 2.5 years, really. I
mm,
sort of considered South Downs Way the one where I was like, boof. So going back to your question, where's the origin? I guess enjoying running. I've always enjoyed running, and then raising money for my beautiful godson and CCHS, and the sort of the
wow.
door then opened.
Yeah.
That
So
sort of answer your question.
yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so that's very very similar to Charlotte, then, isn't it? That it was like a Centurion race that you kind of exploded onto and made everybody sort of know who you are. But so you marathon running then. So what were you fast at marathons then? Was there any like indication that you were like a fast marathon runner and then that's translated to ultras or
No, I guess I did. I mean, my first marathon I did was 4:20. I did a 4 hour marathon, and then the Brighton marathon I did in 2019,
Hmm.
and that was 3:35.
Yeah.
3:35? Yeah,
So
3:35.
decent, but not like mind-blowingly fast
No.
that you would think like you're obviously going to be a yeah, an
I
amazing
tease my
run.
friend, I run with my friend Big Rob quite a lot, and he's done a 2:59. And I'm like,
Nice.
one day,
Yeah, I've
one
never
day.
managed, although I've never done a road marathon. I've only have done three. I think in training I did a 3:04, and then I
Oh,
did
wow.
a trail marathon. I did 3:08, I think, and I was like 10th or something in that. And I was like, oh, but I was gutted. I wanted to go under 3 hours, but on trail probably.
You would have on road.
Yeah, but yeah, at that point, and that would have been like 2017 when I was fast, a lot younger.
I don't know. No, I think we could. Who knows? I mean, I love the trail so much, but it's more just yeah, we'll see. But no,
Do you wish you'd started younger in ultras then, or is it just you're quite happy that this is the way that it's sort of been developed?
um, oh gosh, I haven't really thought about it. Do I wish? I mean, it's so easy to say. You see all the youngsters running like starting their mid
Mm,
twenties. I think someone did it. I mean, there was at Lakeland last year. There was a girl that did it at 18. She did 50 miles with
wow.
her mum, which is just epic.
Mm,
Um, so of course it would have been fun to have found it earlier,
mm.
but I think
It's
I'm
like
just
it's like saying I wish I'd had kids earlier, isn't it?
yeah. Well, yeah, and I had other things, right? I had other things going on or other interests, and I managed to play hockey.
Mm.
So I guess in our family we play the Glad game, from an old classic film of Pollyanna, and
My youngest is called Pollyanna.
oh, it's a beautiful name. And in the film with Pollyanna, they play
Yeah,
the Glad game, and
yeah.
I'm glad that I have found it at the stage I have, and the chapter that I'm in now.
Yeah, yeah. So I know you sort of so when with your races that you've won, it's a lot of attention has been on the fact that you're a how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
45.
45. You're a 45-year-old mum of two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attention on that. How do you feel about do you feel like you've been pigeonholed as like, or is it you happy that everyone's saying it in as such a positive light?
Oh, so I didn't know that's been said about me.
You know,
So,
all I've like every time I've heard you talked about on other
oh,
podcasts and stuff, they've always said 45-year-old mum of
yeah,
two. I
yeah,
suppose it
no,
kind of just adds like that extra bit of story to it, doesn't it?
yeah, no. I've always said that being, and I'm sure you've got kids, and you're still, being a parent is the most important. Like for me, like
Yeah.
as in, they're at an age where they need so much taxiing around, and being a parent for them
Yep.
in the evenings is like just, I love it, and I love that they're part of my journey. I love that they're seeing me show discipline, and Ricky Wynn always says, keep showing up. And I know,
Yeah.
and I show up early mornings, like at 5:30 to get the runs done. They're going to come out to Chamonix with me in the summer, and be part of that journey. And I often share. Damien Hall says, you got to remember your why. And when I separated from the girl's dad, we used to call ourselves like the Three Musketeers, and I have this little tattoo with it's got three dots on the little
Amazing.
affinity
Yeah,
loops.
yeah.
And when I'm
Oh.
there running, it's like like a little power press, and they're so supportive and encouraging. So now I love and I feel very lucky to have them in part of this journey in the
Mm.
chapter that I'm in. And
What do they think of your running then? Is it kind of are they blown away by it? Are they interested in it or are they
oh, they
not
think
interested in it?
they are interested. They dot watch on the races, and they're very understanding of me trying to fit it in. Like they get that I have to get it and fit it in, but
Mm.
I think I'm nuts.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
kids tend to think that you're a bit crazy, aren't you? Um,
Yeah.
but I suppose, these big races where they can dot watch, that's like next. So my kids, they're like one's Tilly, she's 15, nearly 16, leaving school this year. Polly's 14, and they're like into their own things. They were never really interested in my running at all until I did like spine races, and then suddenly they got some way that they could be involved, which was to dot watch, and then suddenly it was then kind of interesting to them, sort of thing. So they like stuck to the laptop watching where you are and
Yeah.
stuff, or on the phones
Yeah.
and
No,
stuff.
you're absolutely right, Sam. I think it's so nice to be able to for them to follow the dot watch. And I've got like a very lucky to have such supportive friends and family. And when I do these big things, I set up a little WhatsApp group and I put the girls on that. And whenever I sort of see Erin and Lana are my two. Erin's 12, Lana's 14. And there's like a go on mum and the little messages within that group and
Yeah, keep
or they'll
together.
leave me a voice note and yeah, the dot I think they feel part of the experience, don't
Mm,
they?
mm,
Definitely been dot watching. And they've been to a couple, but they're so like either they might be with their dad or and actually we were thinking about them coming up to the spine, but it's so strict on when you can and can't see. Like it's quite
mm,
strict in terms of what you can
mm,
do. So
mm.
actually, it was too far away because we live
Yeah, to
all the
just
way.
stand at the side of the road and wave it as you go by. That's all you
Yeah,
can do, isn't
yeah.
it?
And it's quite strict the rules in terms of like yeah. So we just thought actually it's too far, so they didn't come up
Yeah.
for that. But where are they? Yeah. So they're coming to Chamonix, so that'd be awesome.
So, what race are you doing in Chamonix then?
The 100 miler, same as Charlotte.
You're doing the 100 miler.
Yeah,
Amazing. Oh, that's going to be
yeah,
exciting. That is.
yeah. So
How were you?
I got a spot from the art of nutrition
Yeah,
last year.
last year because you were second, weren't you, last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right.
So-
Um, right. Let's talk about the spine then. So this is like literally your first spine race, isn't it? And you
Yeah.
just rocked up and went for it and and won. But not only that, you like set the course record faster than most
Oh.
people run it in summer, and you were third overall. Like absolutely destroyed that race.
Oh, thank you, Sam. It's yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was well, you were there. It was pretty
Yeah,
nuts,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Oh, those conditions were just like, I mean, I've been around the race for years and I've seen loads of conditions at that race. I've ran in different conditions, summer and winter, and it was just at first it was kind of like funny, like wading through those snowdrifts over like the other side of Snake Pass and stuff, which was the undoing of me ultimately. But just like it was going through there, and I was just like, this is crazy. I've never seen like conditions like this before. And then, which was great at first, it was like really nice running in the snow and stuff. But then going through the night, that ice that was just got rain running over the top of it, it's like glass. Yeah, it was horrible, wasn't it? What
And
I
actually, the
mean,
snow, you say about the snow, but the snow started like pretty much, and I'm not very great on my locations, so apologies, but I know Jacob's Ladder, and like the snow was pretty much hitting us
yes,
from there. And
yeah, yeah.
and I had recce'd bits of it in October half term, obviously with no snow. And then there are parts where I had two gentlemen in front of me, one lovely guy called Rich, who I ran a lot of the race with, and then another guy called Ollie, and I was a third behind them. And I was like, there was phases where you're right, you had to sort of smile and the sun's shining and it's blue sky, and it's like, Sarah, look up,
Mm,
look round, it's
yeah,
beautiful, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. And then you'd be like, whoa, fall to
yeah.
the right, whoa, fall to the left. And it was just like it was just like this. It was like a cartoon. It was nuts. It was nuts, but amazing, but nuts.
Yeah, because I mean, some of it made it more runnable, ironically, didn't it? So that the bits over like the bogs, like on Kinder Plateau, where some of that is like real, like you're sinking in bog and stuff normally was runnable. Then you'd get a bit where you couldn't run, so you'd run like for like 30 seconds, and then it'd just be like mush and a hole and stuff. So
Where's
it was
that
kind
bit then? Is that before Hepton or after? I
so
sort of
yeah, so
need.
after you go over, so when you go up Jacob's ladder,
Yeah.
you get to the top, you're on the Kinder Plateau then. So that's
Ah,
Kinder
okay.
Scout. Yeah, so that is normally like really boggy and stuff on there.
Ah, okay.
And in winter you can be sort of like wading through water and everything. But even like Kinder Downfall, which is like the waterfall, that was frozen, and the river was just like non-existent. You just walked straight across it, didn't you? It
Yeah.
wasn't anything because normally you have to step over on rocks and stuff and get over the flow. But it was just there was nothing there. Nothing, you couldn't even hear the water running or anything. So yeah, and then you like sliding on your bum going down that hill to get onto the what would have been the flagstones on Snake Pass and everything
Oh, the
over there. So
flagstones. I really missed the flagstones. Like in the recce's, I was like, oh, there's so many.
because you can actually get some decent pace up on those flagstones normally.
Yeah.
Like you can normally like track across them quite nicely, but
Don't you think I sang this to Rich. I don't think he liked it all that much, especially when it got to like the fifth or sixth time. But I just when I was like, we're on the flagstones, Rich. Don't you think it's like the yellow brick road? Follow the yellow brick road. He's like, oh gosh, we're actually going there, and I'd actually keep singing it. But
oh
yeah,
no.
like
When
when I
something
saw
gets stuck in your head. Hmm.
yeah, and when I saw the flagstones, it was yeah, because it was such a treat to see them because there's so many, even in the like the small section of the Pennine Way, but there is you just didn't see them because of the snow. Anyway,
No, no, it was yeah, it was interesting conditions, wasn't it? I was quite happy. I was quite pleased with the conditions overall, but yeah, I think for me, just I had my fall in the snowdrift and then I was all right for a bit, but then it just kind of through the nights, just the up and down, up and down, up and down, and I ended up dropping. That's why I dropped at Lothersdale. So I came hobbling into the safety team there, and I had a
where was that? Was that by the pub? By the
yeah, so there used to be a check like not an actual checkpoint, but there used to be the triathlon club used to be there, and they normally have like a big like gazebos and like a heater going, and you can go in and sit down if you want to, if you dare sit down, and
ah,
they like give you food and stuff. But obviously that wasn't there this year, and it's not going to be there again as far as I know, sort of thing. So and that was like a bit of a lifeline because that's a long stretch, isn't it, when you go from Hebden to
oh, so
anywhere.
you got through it. So we're talking after. Sorry, I get a
So
bit lost on the
yeah,
route.
so after Hebden,
Hmm. Yeah,
so you go over that more, and I can't remember the name of it after Hebden, and then it's like one of the kind of villages that you drop into. So the
yeah,
first one you drop into, and then you climb out, and then this one you drop into again, and then sort of climb out. Well, it's like the second time you dropped into a village kind of thing, and ran on a bit of road. So it's theirs. There's no normally it's quite nice because there's that, and you can stop and get some water and get warm and stuff. And then you got like then the next bit is like Malham and everything. So you like Malham Tarn and stuff. So
yeah.
kind of broke it up, but that wasn't there. But anyway, that's where that's my first DNF ever.
I know. I
First
saw that on
DNF
your
ever. So
socials.
yeah,
How did you
yeah.
feel? How did you feel like at that point at the
Yeah, it was a weird one because I've never DNF'd a race before. I was saying like in my posts about it, I was like more terrified of doing it for the first time and wondering how I would feel. But once I'd done it, I was like, it's okay, it's fine, I've done it, now, it's okay,
Yeah,
get
I've
over
got.
it
Hey, we've all got them in us. As in, I know that there'll be one with my yeah, there'll be one. There's going to be
with
one
your name on
race
it.
that there will be. I didn't want to say that like a bit like flippantly, but there
Yeah.
will be a race one day that it will be the same.
Mm.
Yeah, it will. You're absolutely right. I think we put and almost you want it to happen in the sense that you then get over it and
Get
go,
it,
oh
get it out
yeah,
of the way. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I suppose it's probably right actually. But also at the back of my mind is that knowing that the predictor the biggest predictor of a DNF is a previous DNF. That
oh really,
fact, I don't like that fact. So I'm now booking. I've got to book some races just to. Cause I've just got to get some races under my belt again to feel like I've gone back to what I was doing before, which was not DNFing races.
Yeah.
So.
Have you done the Challenger South before? I know you've done a lot of spine races before, but
So
have you
I've
done?
done no, well I've done the full winter. So it's yeah, so it's not like even so a lot of people were like, well, how come you're only doing the short race? How come you didn't finish that when you've done the full one? And I was like,
Oh,
it's different. I didn't I fell over in I did fall over in that race and hurt my hip, but it didn't stop me from running, whereas this stopped me from running. It was
mm,
I was hobbling like down the street and the safety team were like, are you sure you sure you know what you're doing?
yeah.
And I took that opportunity to drop, thinking that, yeah, I kind of regret it, but I don't at the same time because I think if I had carried on, I would have dropped like further up anyway, and they were
Mm.
saying how bad the conditions were further up at Malham and everything. So I was
Oh
like,
my God.
maybe it's
Yeah.
just a wise decision to just drop
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Would you do it
But
again?
no, I don't think I will do it again actually because I've done what I should have done is just left it at doing the full winter and just being happy with that, which I was, and then I just got the opportunity to do it, and I took it, and I was like, oh, maybe I don't know. At the back of my mind, I was thinking, how hard can it be? I've done the full, and not really like thought about it, the fact that something could go wrong, like it did. So maybe I was a bit sort of naive, thinking that it would just be like an automatic that I'd finish it, sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of my insecurities to unpack there, but I'll get
Yeah, but
over
also like a lot of
it.
learnings for you too, like as in to move forward, as in knowing that you've
Yeah,
completed the spine, which is incredible, Sam. Like
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
incredible.
it.
So
Yeah, you can't take away that fact that that I've
no.
done the full race. And the fact that I've got a DNF under my belt now, actually, I'm quite happy about that. Looking back on it, I'm like, okay, I'm quite happy with a DNF because I needed to do one at some point, and may as well do it at my favorite race. So
Yeah, and in a place that you're familiar with. And
yeah,
on that occasion, Sam, that had your name on it. Well, I'll
it
let
did.
you know
It
which one
did.
has my name on
Well,
it.
I hope you don't have any on you with your name on it. To be honest, it'd
Oh.
be great. It would be great if everyone could get through the running career without a
Oh, I
DNF.
don't know. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
there's a part of thing of like we put so much pressure on ourselves to succeed, and actually in
yeah,
our heads we feel like
mm,
we. And I'm not using this word like if I was to do it, I might feel like I failed and not completing it. But
mm,
actually, you know, like you just said, there's so much to learn and take away and
mm,
process, and all of that
yeah.
is very important too.
It's and also I am running again now. Absolutely
Amazing.
fine. I've still got a little bit of a tiny little twinge in my calf, but I'm running again.
Yeah.
I've ran like I've ran Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, which is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it feels like I can go back to my routine of running
Yeah.
less every day. Um, but if I had carried on in the race and got further, would I have made it worse and got to the point where, it put me out of running for a
Mm,
month or so? So it's just, you don't know, do you? So it's just one
no.
of those things. But
Well, it's great that you're back running. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's it. Yeah, back doing
So
what I love.
yeah, and
But
booking
anyway,
some races.
enough about me. We're not here to talk about me and my spine race. We're here to talk about yours. So was it what you expected? Was it better than you? Well, I mean, it was good, obviously the result, but was it how you expected it to be?
Um, oh gosh, I had no, I knew that it was epic. I knew
Mm,
the spine was nuts, as in like the full thing. And my I have a friend for a friend in my little running group down here, Ben Potts did the full thing this year. So and then I'm coached by Damien Hall, and he's obviously a bit of a well, he's
he's
massively
a legend. Yeah,
he's a legend. He is a legend.
he
He
is
is
a
a legend,
spine
and
legend.
he's a big part of the spine. And we started talking about it in May, as in to do the smaller thing. This is as in like they're all massive, but as in
Mm,
the Challenger South.
mm,
And then my friend was like, "Oh, why not the Challenger North?" And because I'm a teacher, like the South's over a weekend, which doesn't like
mm,
impact too much on school, although
yeah,
did a bit of the traveling either side. But you know what I mean? It's in
mm,
context.
yeah,
And then I looked at it and it was fully booked. And Damien was like, "Well, just put yourself on the waiting list. Like by the time the next payment comes up, so many people have changed their minds
yeah,
because
yeah.
of injuries or and."
Mm,
So I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like May, June. I was like, "I'll put it on the list." But we'll see. I did the arc last year, and I had done the arc 2020 5. So I was like, winter races, we'll pop it in. And it's different. Like it gets mentioned. What it does get mentioned is the fact that I'm from the south in terms of like there are lumps and bumps down here, but they ain't the sort of lumps and bumps up where you are. So, it was just going to bring so much different,
Mm.
so much like it was just going to be like something I've never done before. And I did
Mm.
Lakeland, and that was incredible with the elevation and the views too. But this was then in winter, and then it's a bit different to the lakes. And then, sure enough, literally the day before February half term or around that time, I got an email. I was like, "Would you like this
You're in.
place?" And I was like, "Oh
Mm.
gosh!" And then Max and I were like, "Oh gosh, let's try and get up to the Pennine Way and do a recce." And it was all a bit last minute. Um, and then there's the kit list, and then there's
Oh
so
man,
much
the kit list.
controversy or like
Mm.
discussion of the kit list.
Mm.
And then obviously, being a teacher, I had obviously very lucky to have the Christmas holidays. And in our sitting room, I just started laying kit out literally from like the 15th of December. Like taking things out, adding things in different containers, trying to keep it tidy amongst the Christmas tree and the chaos.
Oh,
But so I started laying things out like that, and um but I didn't have any. I guess what I'm saying is I didn't have any expectation. It was all new. And I think
mm.
that's what I loved about it. And I love I quite like to be in control. I'm a teacher. I like to know what's what. I like to sort of, and I think in ultra running, there brings an unknown. And
Mm.
I can be in control of like nutrition and, but there are things that you can't be in control of. And
Mm.
I think that's something I love about it for me. And this was like just a magnitude of like a bigger scale.
Unknown.
And
Mm.
then carrying a heavier pack and having, oh yeah, this was the other thing which was massive is one, I'd done Lakeland with no nav, as in like I'm a bit of a princess and liking to know where I'm going, and I'm not great on my nav. And so having few aid stations, having to take proper good care, no crew, no paces, no markings. So that was all new, and so
Mm.
that just there was no real expectation other than to complete it. And
Mm.
I chatted to Damien about times and stuff, and I was looking, he said, "Don't give times. You can't. You don't know how
Mm.
it's going to be on the
Mm.
conditions." So again, that took away less pressure because it was like, let's just go and see what it brings.
Mm.
And
Mm.
even when I finished, I hadn't clocked or registered, and not being flippant or ungrateful because the time was. I was really amazed by the time, but I was only listening out for my watch for nutrition alerts every 30
Mm.
minutes. So I wasn't even aware time wise where
How
I
long
was
it's been?
at.
Wow.
So I don't know whether that makes me sound really flippant or not very interested, but it was just about the focus of finishing and looking after
Mm.
myself. So
Well, then that's right, then, isn't it? If that's your focus, then why would you stress yourself out by looking at the time? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that, I was running with Richard, and then he'd be like, I don't know, little things like stopping to put layers on, or I should have put spikes on so much earlier. There's this one
Mm.
hill like 15 miles from the end. I'm afraid I can't remember the lane. Anyway, you come off Penny
Yeah.
Gant, and
Penny again. Yeah. And you got
then
the
there's
Cam High
like
Road.
yes, and that
Mm.
was like sheet ice, and then like
Yeah.
6 miles there's another road just on the last chunk, and that was sheet ice, and I was like, oh, I'll put my spikes on in a minute. And Damien always says, be bothered, and I was like, I'll put
Yes,
my
be bothered.
spikes on it, put my spikes on in a minute. And I was literally falling around like some sort of Bambi on ice. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll put them on in a minute. And
Yeah.
then literally I saw Richard further up put his spikes on. I was like, oh, for goodness
Gotta do
sake, I
it.
wish
Gotta
I'd put
do
them
it.
on earlier. But
Mm.
anyway, good learnings, right? Good learnings, good learnings.
Yeah. 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 It's the kind of thing, isn't it, that until you can tell yourself before a race, can't you? Like, I'm going to be really efficient with this. I'm going to definitely do that. And I've done the full winter in bad conditions before and used my spikes. And then I'd like made good decisions. At that point, it was going over the back of Great Shunner Fell after, the next big climb after Hawes. And that was just like sheet ice, but that was the first bit of ice in the race, really. And and I made that decision really quick to put them on. Whereas with this, like I was like taking them off and putting them back on again because I was almost like willing the ice to go away. I was almost like, I'll put them on, but I'm only going to use them on this bit because bit is really bad. And then, oh, I've got to a bit where there isn't any ice. I'm taking them off. Kind of like willing the race to give me the conditions that I wanted. And obviously you can't do that, can you?
No, but again, isn't that awesome? Like takeaways, as in, I should have put them on a lot earlier, and maybe you
Yeah.
should have kept them on rather. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, but
Yeah.
it's the conditions that. I just was I've never had before, and
And you obviously this would have been the longest race in time for you. So like
yeah,
not knowing as far as like sleep deprivation and how that would affect you and everything.
that's something that I look at the whole spine, like yourself and all those incredible people that have done the whole lot,
Mm,
268, isn't it? And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the sleep deprivation is something that, which not scares me, but that's something that I'm like, oh gosh, like, and on the run, I was like, being glad I'm only doing the short one. It's only 109
Yeah,
miles. It's only
yeah,
109 miles. I could be glad I'm not doing 268. So,
yeah,
it was, and that was a
exactly.
real drive because, um, it was, and because for me in my head, it was like, like you say about the sleep, it was
Mm,
just, you know, I didn't want to go into the dream was not to be going into a second night.
yeah,
And that was quite a motivation in terms of, um,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
but yeah, little things like my pole broke just towards the end. So I had one
Mm,
pole, which is again not a big deal, right? But
mm.
in your head, I was like, oh gosh, like how am I going to get up these more at the last one? I can't remember the names. I'm so sorry, but the last few climbs towards the end of
Mm.
the back of the tail end of the
Yeah, yeah.
run, and I was literally like some sort of in 1, 2, 3, in 1, 2, 3, like literally
Like your
like
paddle
just
boarding. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was hard, but it was the first one I've actually finished. There's a picture where the uh the person who took the photograph has sort of captures me. I'm quite a smiley person, but at the end of the race, there's a smile with like a tear in my eye, and I it really captures um the actual
How
emotion
you felt.
of what it
Mm.
was. Yeah,
Happy, but yeah, tears.
just
Mm.
crumbs. That was hard.
Yeah. I felt nothing when I finished the full spine. I was like
Oh no way!
completely devoid of all emotion by the time I got to the wall. I think just because I'd been through every emotion on the full race, that
Mm.
I'd done all of my crying and all of my feeling sorry for myself. And by the time I knew I was getting to Kirkyevan, I was just like, it's over. This is
Ah,
this is over. I don't need to be I haven't got the energy to be happy, but also I haven't got the energy to be sad. So I'm just gonna just finish and just be done with it. Yeah.
I have
Mm.
got a question then. So, having done the full spine yourself, would would you, hearing my fear about doing the big distance, is it
You'd be
something that
fine. You'd be
you
fine.
would recommend? Is
Yeah,
it something special?
100%. Because yeah, it is something special, and it's like it's life changing. And I said when I did it, I was like, if I never get to do it again, that's absolutely fine because I had a race that was had everything in it, drama, falls, great weather, bad weather. It gave me everything that I wanted. So if I never do the race again, that's absolutely fine. At some point, eventually, I will. Um, but I think like for you, worrying about going through a second night, that kind of I think once you've done it for the first time, I think maybe if you, what I would do is I feel like I probably did it the right way, which was by doing the shorter races, and then I did the Challenger North in the summer, and that kind of got me into the mindset of what to do during the night and that kind of thing. So
Mm.
the because I'd never been through a second night before, so I didn't know what I would be like with sleep deprivation and stuff. And it turns out I love hallucinations in races. I really enjoy them.
Said no one ever apart from Sam Hill.
So other people do enjoy them as well. I've heard, but I found that the first night was more or less trouble free. The early hours of the morning, you're just feeling a bit crappy. Sun comes up and you feel great. Then going into the second night, that was when I started to struggle. But what I realized was that if I timed it, not that you can time it right in any race, and it changes from winter to summer, but it works out that I got to the next checkpoints like at a point where I was still awake enough, but also tired to be able to have a sleep. And once I had a sleep, it didn't really matter what time of day it was. I still felt like I'd had a sleep and it was a new day. So physically, like closing your eyes and having a sleep. But I mean, for you, you're so fast that I don't. You might be one of the ones that, like Anna Troop that does it without
I mean,
sleep.
shall we just say Anna Tree? Like she's 50, talking about age and stuff.
Yes,
She's
I know.
55 years old and she is like I haven't actually. I must look into if she's done any podcasts 'cause I'd love to hear
I've got her
her.
booked in. She's booked. She's on holiday at the minute, and so I was trying to. She was really hard to get hold of, but eventually she sent me a message back saying, "Oh, can you do a podcast this afternoon or today? I'm going on holiday tonight." And I was like, "No, I'm at work, but tell me when you're back, and I'll book you in." So when she gets back, like next week, she's booked in. So
Oh,
because
Sam, that's
I really
amazing.
really want to hear her story. Yeah, she's yeah
She's there's the
in her
women's.
50s.
Oh, I know. It's inspiring. And she has a there's like a Spine official women's group. And
Oh,
then
is there?
she yeah, and then she put I know there's other lots of other WhatsApp groups, but there is like a
Yeah.
women's one.
Mm,
And then she was she put on she's basically there's another group that she has. I don't know whether she set it up, but it's just a platform for her sharing advice, and she put the most eloquent, beautiful, inspiring message for these women that either had DNF'd or having doubts or
mm,
having this year. And it was, oh, her words were just awesome. Like, yeah, I can't wait to listen to her. Yeah, I
mm.
can't wait. Good, you'll love it. She'll be amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I've tried to get her on before, and I think the last time I tried to get her on was when she was in for the race, but then she didn't do it because she was injured. And she like sent me a message saying, "Oh, I'm not doing the race now. Um, there's no point in interviewing." I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't. I would have you on the podcast," which is like, "I'll wait until I'm in back in the race again." And I saw that she was on the list, and I didn't see her in this. I didn't see her. Didn't get a chance to see her in the summer. So I was like, "Right, I've got to talk to you." So yeah, she's booked in. She did like tried friends with her on Facebook and on Instagram, and I'd sent her messages on everything, and she'd not seen them. And then eventually she like sent me a message. She was like, "Oh, I'm rubbish on social media.
Ah.
Here's my phone number. Send me a WhatsApp." And I sent her a WhatsApp, and she didn't read it for like 2 days. So, just
Ah.
don't think she's that interested in technology or coming on the pod. But she does
No.
want to come on the podcast. So
And I did also, what was lovely is that I listened to your pod with Jack Scott before the Spine as well,
yeah.
because I knew that he was going to be there, and obviously his name's been like very around with
Mm.
what happened with when he won Epic Break the Record,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and then on the start line I saw him, and then I saw him like Derbyshire like shake hands at the start line, and you know when you're sort of watching a bit like fangirl going, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
like here
Yeah.
they both are.
But you're in that race. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mm.
then and it was really lovely because at the end he came back into the hall to say hello to me, and I was like, oh, that meant a huge amount because
He's a
I'm
nice guy, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a
and it was
lovely
so
guy.
nice hearing him talk to you in terms of like, well, it's like you listen to a podcast, you're like, oh my God, it's Jack Scott, like, as in,
Yeah.
I feel like I know all about your mindset in terms of preparing for the race, and then I started chatting to him about it, and yeah, he also thought, like, you're far too keen on these like questions in terms of like how. But yeah, no, that was really nice to have listened to the podcast and then to have like met him and
Yeah.
then
And then
chatted. Yeah, lovely
mm.
guy.
It's funny how you with podcasting. I think you'll have this because you do podcasting as well. That people will talk to you at races and they'll talk to you like they know you, sort of thing, because they've obviously listened to you talk for hours and have got like having almost like I'm having a conversation with you, sort of thing. And I don't. Do you have that at races? Do you have
No,
people?
not really. No. I would say that we're quite early on in our journey. You're a pro. You're like up here, Sam. We're like just starting our little journey. Um, and no, so no, we just no, we had some pretty cool chats with some awesome runners. But I certainly don't feel that. And actually, Max does so much of the tech. I sort of feel like I just bounce in and have a little bit of a chat and then head out.
Like the no nav type of
Yeah,
deal.
exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, yeah. I'm like
The
Anna
no
Treve.
nav.
I'm not all bothered on this. Like, even this microphone. Like, Max is like, don't speak too close to it.
The tech princess. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know what? Sarah actually means princess.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
So,
don't know how I know that, but I do know
yeah.
that somehow.
So I have to live up to my name, Sam.
Amazing. Speaking of other Sarahs, then, so you put a couple of hours into Sarah Perry on that race, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
How does that?
yeah.
How does that? How does that feel? Because obviously, don't want to diminish anyone else's races and abilities and stuff, but she's a badass runner. So how does
She
it feel to have beat her by 2.5 hours?
um
That's not an awkward
no, I
question.
know it's not because what is it's really hard to explain because you think of Sarah when I saw Sarah Perry on the start line and there's a little bit of a like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
Sarah Perry.
yeah,
And she was like focused in the zone. And I didn't approach her for a chat because I didn't want to seem like an annoying like this. And then I knew she was running for MRT.
yeah,
And that was
yeah.
the times got changed. So we were meant to be running at separate times. And
Yeah,
then due to
yeah.
the weather.
I think it's only half an hour though, like the time difference normally between the races. So look, they set off half an hour behind, sort of thing. So I was thinking when I saw she was on that start list, I was like, well, half an hour won't make any difference to her anyway. So she'll
No.
be flying past everyone anyway.
So I didn't and I obviously follows like was sort of following her journey with the World Championships, the Backyard Ultra, and then she's done
Yeah,
the hill, which
yeah.
again smashed it.
Mm.
Um, so I
So
sort of
where
I
was
sort
she then at the start then? Because I didn't really see because I was kind of hiding at the back, keeping a low profile. But where, in terms of like when you set off, where were you and
so
where was she?
we both put ourselves to the front, and
Yeah,
then she went off. She went off quick, and I was like, oh, I'll
yeah.
try and keep up with her, just to be like really nice to do a few miles with her and just see what happens.
Mm.
Um, and then my rhythm just was a bit different in terms of like I always I am a bit of a like a horse in a box at the start of a race anyway, and I was like,
Mm.
let's just go and see what happens. And then I saw her as I was coming out of, I always say it wrong,
Hebden.
Hebden,
Mm.
and she was coming in. So I was like, oh, that's, and I hadn't realized spent quite so long at Hebden. That Matt's like, what were you doing in there? You're 40
How long were you there
minutes.
for? How
40
long were you?
minutes. I was like,
That's still like reasonable because I mean, I went in there with the sole intention of getting in and out as quickly as possible for my speed, and I was still like an hour in there. But I know because when I spoke to like James Nobles, he was like, "Oh, 20 minutes max," and I was like, "20 minutes is still like not long to get in, get your gear out, swap everything over, get them to do kit check and stuff." So I
oh
would say
yeah.
40 minutes isn't too
Oh,
bad
thanks,
actually.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So I saw her coming out, and and again, I knew that I didn't know what her, I didn't know what her, I didn't know
You
what
know
her
you've gone
plan
past her
was.
then.
Yeah, I did know that I'd gone past her, so I was ahead of her before we got to Jacob's Ladder. Um, but had again because I had no expectations of how it was going to be. I didn't. I knew that she was behind me. I knew she was going to be. I knew she's strong. And but I didn't have a I didn't it wasn't in a plan. It was just let's, like
Mm.
I said to you earlier on, it was just let's go and have this
See
adventure.
what
And that
happens. Yeah.
again, I don't want to
You
sound
ran your own
I
race.
did.
Yeah.
I did. That's exactly. I should have found those
Yeah.
words. I'm so sorry. I waffle. But yes, I ran my own race. And if it meant running miles with her, amazing. And I hope one day that, well, I hope to run some miles with her one day. That'd be cool. And I wanted to run some miles with Mel as well.
Yeah. I ran with Mel for like most of my race until she dropped out.
Oh, you lucky ducky.
Yeah,
I was,
she was like behind me, and then she overtook me, and then I overtook her, and in the end we just like kind of laughed and just like stayed pretty much together, and then when we got to the White House, so where you drop off the moor and there's the
I
big
know
white
where that
pub,
is. I know where that one is.
yeah, the
Yeah.
White House, and she went past me and she was like, I just want to get to Hebden, and she like put her foot down and like I dropped down. By the time I dropped down that hill, she was like running up the road to then go along where the reservoirs are and stuff. And I was like flipping out. She's like put her foot down,
Gone.
but I'd not realised that she'd she wanted to get to Hebden because I think she was going to drop there anyway because her knee was hurting and stuff. So by the time I sort of caught her. I went into the guys that had got the gazebo up and stuff, and I had like a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits, and I was like, right, I'm okay, I'm ready to carry on. So I carried on, and I could see as you get, there's that bit as you come out of the White House, and then you go that long, like really dull, boring bit where you're going along the side of the reservoir and stuff and the water. And I could see this head torch kept turning around, like in the distance. And I was like, what? This looked like there was somebody sort of either stopped or didn't really know what they were doing, sort of thing. And I got closer and closer and closer, and it like disappeared around the corner. I was like, that's really strange. Somebody's distressed or don't know what they're doing, sort of thing. Like a bit delirious. And I got there, and it was Mel, and she was on the phone, and she was on the phone to like the broom wagon saying she was going to get picked up, and she was asking me which would be quicker to go down to Studley Pike and get down to the road there, or go back to the White House. And I don't know what she did in the end, because she was like, "Oh, just carry on. I'm dropping, so just carry on." So I just kind of like, "You all right?
Oh,
You okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine." And I left her there. And then the next time I saw her was at Hebden, and she was like helping out with helping out at
yeah.
Hebden.
Yeah, getting stuck in. Yeah. So yeah, so there were some amazing yeah, there were some amazing runners. Like yeah, I ran with I Mel and I did the Lakeland last year in the summer, so
Ah,
I'd
got you.
met her there. Um but it was what was lovely is although I didn't Sarah Perry actually messaged me and just to say well done, and it was like it just shows another example of like how lovely this world is in terms of
Mm.
like, and I was able to message her and
Community. Mm.
yeah, just to celebrate each other's successes and
Mm.
yeah, I feel super lucky to have done an event the same, you know, the same event as
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
and to be in the start line with her.
Yeah. And to get that result. Yeah. I mean, that's, you can't really like play it down. Like I know it's, don't want to like talk about it in that way, but you beat Sarah Perry, one of the best ultra runners in the UK. And you've took the course record down as well, like in what was it, 29 hours? And
Oh four, oh three, I think.
that's amazing.
Thank
So
you.
third overall, like you've got to be super proud of that
Yeah,
performance.
I don't think it's not a course record though, because
Oh, is it not?
they're not counting it as a course
Oh,
record.
because they cut out
Yeah,
cut out
yeah.
the
So
climb up
that's
Pen again.
so yeah, so they and Kevin spoke to me at the end and like you know again it was just like "No, whatever you know that's if that's you know it's
Mm.
the it's not they've got the they'll have their reasons
What did
and
they take out then? They only took out the nasty bit at Malham Cove, didn't they? Where you would have gone across the actual cove bit, which is all
correct.
like just like horrific, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Even
you
in
then went
daylight.
over that left rather than to the right,
Yeah,
and then Penny Ghent rather
join back. Yeah, what
yeah.
did you do at Penny again then? Because obviously I didn't get that
So
far.
you dropped and I was really looking forward to Penny Ghent because I'd recce that and that's a little bit of a scramble,
So
but
did you
you
go as if you were going to go towards it and you can see it in front of you, but then you turn left?
that's
Yeah,
exactly what we did.
yeah.
And and there were some flagstones. So I sang Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, so that's what we yeah, that was the change in the course. Uh but yeah, no, so yeah, yeah, so that's why it's not
So
a course record.
that would have added. It's hard to know, isn't it, what it would have added. I suppose they would know what it adds and what it takes away. But that climb up, have you been up Pen again up that front?
Yeah. And Jack Scott said it was he had done it and then
You've
they
gone.
diverted it and he said like it was absolutely right to divert it, like it wasn't
Yeah.
safe, it wasn't. So
Mm,
and I think we only just caught the marshals redirecting because they were there
uh,
walking down the track as we were
to direct it.
running down. So I don't know, but I'm guessing because they were
Yeah.
carrying big signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was, and then what was so funny is that a friend of mine phoned me and said, "You've gone wrong," because they all know my nab's so bad.
Go wrong.
And then on the group there was some chat about she's gone wrong. She's so possible. And then I had this phone call and I didn't recognize it. I was like delirious. Like, and I had not delirious. I like didn't know who the phone number was. I just pressed on the old
Mm,
headphones. I was like, hello, and he said it's Pete. And I was like, Pete who? Because like I'm not expecting to speak to Pete from my local little village I went to school with. He's like, you've gone wrong. Like, and I was like, no, it's been diverted. Oh, thank goodness, thank goodness. So I caused a little bit of drama at home,
stress.
which was
Yeah.
fun.
Wow. Yeah, so they
Mm.
must have literally just diverted it at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Flipping out.
yeah, it was.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was. It's actually I don't talk about it. You know how you like bounce back into normal life so quickly,
Mm,
as in like so it's been really nice reliving parts of it with you, as in
Yeah, you remember, you like someone will tell you a story and you'll remember, oh, I remember that bit of the course, and that something will come back to you, won't it?
yeah. I did run like 100 miles with Rich. He became he's down on my phone as Rich Spine Hubby. He is married and kids, like, isn't it's all like, but in context of like just running so many miles with him, he and you know what it's like. You meet
Yeah,
somebody on
yeah,
the trails
mm,
and you start just
yeah.
sharing your life
Instant best
story,
friends.
just apart.
Mm,
Yeah, and then
mm,
he got to a point where he was really his temperature dropped again. I don't know the locations, but it was like there's a little barn, and we went in. He's like, "Can you just help me get my?" He needs to put his layers on now, and
mm,
you know where you because you know how cold it was, right, in terms
mm.
of like shaking. And I was like, and so then I'm like, I'm doing his top toggle of his rucksack, and we're sort of like, and then he couldn't get. And it's just all those little
Let's get
things.
you out of these wet
Yeah,
clothes.
yeah, yeah. Come on, and I think at one point
That
he
with your
couldn't do a zip
kids.
up because his hands were so shaky. He was like, "Come here, let me do your zip up," and all that. And then, but what broke my heart at the end was I got to the end and it was like, oh, thank goodness, and my teeth were chattering, and because I only had one pole, like da da da, and we started just doing that towards the end, as in like just because he was a bit and then I was a bit and then he was a bit,
Mm,
as you do,
mm,
and then he had shown me how to do like he was ahead, I was ahead, and then as I turned off left to exit the hill down into Hawes,
mm.
he went wrong, and he then got hypothermia, and he was 3 miles from the end, and
Did he finish? No. Oh no.
and well, your reaction says it all. Like, it's
Mm,
so heartbreaking that you do
yeah.
so many
But
miles and get to know someone,
oh
and
man,
then you get to the end like really
three
excited to have
miles.
finished, then you're like a bit heartbroken that yeah, it was awful.
Mm,
And then I left him a note, and it's like, how do I get in touch with him? So I'm like leaving him a note, and I said to the spine volunteers, please, can you put this in his drop bag?
mm,
And all my friends were invested in him. It's like, what's happened to Rich? Like, he's
yeah.
gone wrong. And anyway, we've had some. I forwarded on all like the lovely messages of my friends and family, and forwarded them all on to him. And um, uh, yeah, he wrote me a lovely message back, and we
Oh,
have said
lovely.
if there's ever a time we can try and hook up to do it, like another running.
Yeah.
And he lives up he like we were like running past, so he like 10 kilometers was home that way for him, so he lives up that
No.
way. But yeah, I feel very lucky to have met like a spine buddy.
What's his full name? Can you remember his full name?
Richard Bryars.
Richard Bryars.
Yeah,
Richard Bryars.
yeah,
Shout out to Richard Bryars.
yeah,
Sorry
big
to
shout
hear
out.
that. Sorry to
Yeah,
hear about
he's
that. That's gutting. Well, it's like the same with like Eugenie and everything, like dropping out so close to the end of the race. You just think like when normal people, they're like, "What? You're only like 3 miles from the end, or you're only like 6 miles from the end, and you had to drop out," and they can't quite understand. Yeah, when you're hypothermic, you're
I
hypothermic.
haven't caught up with that. Did he get, what
Eugenie,
happened
yeah,
to?
he dropped. I can't remember which. I think, oh, which hut was it? I can't remember if he dropped at hut one or hut two. So either way, they're like hut one is like 15 miles from the end or something, and then hut two is like 6 miles from the end. So either way, well, I know he's dropped at hut two before, literally like 6 miles from the end. Like, and you just think 260 odd miles, and then you drop like 10K from the end. It's
Yeah.
just horrific, isn't it?
My sister messaged and she's like, as much as sport can be incredible and bring so much, sport can sometimes be so cruel too, in terms of
Mm,
like, but I don't know. He messaged saying he thinks he might, it's on his radar to put it to bed and do it again,
do
but
it
he's got
again.
to get the
Yeah.
green card from his missus. It's like, that's fair enough. That is fair
Well,
enough.
my wife has got a video that she drags out every now and then of me sat on the sofa at Kirk Yettam at the pub, with something in my hand, some drink in my hand. I don't know what it was. Like on video saying, "I'll never do this race again. I've done it now. There's no need for me to do it ever again." And she's like, "Right, I've got that on video. You're never doing it again."
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Knowing full well that at some point I will do it again.
Yeah, but him, what was so lovely as well, not lovely as in him playing the glad game. He was like, "Well, I went to hospital and I had to use my roll mat, I had to use my sleeping bag,"
At,
because he
at
was,
the at the at the hospital.
yeah, yeah. So he went on to a, yeah. So he was like, "Well, at least it got used." I was like, "Oh,
Oh
Rich."
no. Oh no.
So yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's made me want to. I'll ping him a message actually after this and tell him that I've brought him up. So yeah.
He's got a
Anyway,
good mention. He's got a good mention on the
he's a
podcast.
special
Anyway,
guy, and
so,
I'm very lucky to have met him and done
yeah.
so many miles on that
I'll
adventure.
see
So
if I can find him on social media and send him a
no,
message.
you won't.
Oh, he's
You
not on
won't.
social media.
No, no, no.
Mm.
He's got. He's like. I've got WhatsApp and occasional Strava. I was like,
Okay, all
okay.
right. Okay, we'll send him. So I'll send him. You could send him a link to the podcast so he can
Yeah,
hear
I
it as
will,
well.
Sam. I will. Thank you for letting me chat about him and that bit of the journey.
Well,
So
that's all part of racing, into the people you meet, and it's true actually. Like, and on the long race, that's even weirder because you can spend, like you've spent, like, 20 something hours with somebody. You can do that on the full race, and you feel like you fully get to know somebody, and you're like best friends, like, exchanging like contact details and stuff. And then you get separated from them, and you don't see them again in the race at all. And then you make other friends in the race, and you get to know them, and they become your best friends. And it's
yeah,
like a weird world that you live in, where you're like getting to know people, and then you lose them at a checkpoint, or they stay longer in the checkpoint, or you stay longer in the checkpoint. And it's, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but I think you should definitely do the full. But
ah,
if you're worried about the whole sleep thing, then I'd one of the long summer ones, and just get your mind into understanding how the sleep deprivation works, and how you can cope with it and stuff. Because you don't know
yes.
till you've done it, do you? So
No, but the hard thing is it is school, like as in like
yeah, school
the
term time, yeah,
yeah,
it's a
and
week
that's
off.
not like it's my school are incredibly supportive, and I'm very lucky to have like their support in terms of when I do these events and stuff. But I have to like just find the balance of
Mm,
not
yeah,
not pushing it too much. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
um, we'll see. I'm chatting to Damien in next week or so, and I'm sure if I was to land the idea, we'll see, we'll see. Oh my God, I haven't even really said yes. It's Max even says to me, "Stop, let's stop, Sam. It's a
there we
no,
go.
it's a no,
You heard it here heard it here first, folks. Exclusive.
no,
Sarah
no,
Page is doing next
no."
year's Full Winter Spine.
Ben Potts said to me, "I'll give you a week and then I'll have a chat with you about it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, no, no." And then I suddenly bring out chatting to you, and it's like a little seed. We'll see. We'll see.
Exciting. What else is on the cards then for this year?
I have got Mozart, Austria, Salzburg
Oh wow.
in May.
Amazing. I
I
saw that. That looked like last year's race looked like, was it Mozart? Was it Canty that was like torrential rain?
think that was Canty, wasn't
Was it
it?
Canty, was it? That's the one that looked like it
Canty.
was a British
That wasn't that
race.
the one that Fee Pascal did that
That's it.
was
Yeah.
horrific.
Yeah.
So no, so and then I've sold it. Well, we it's always good to be able to sell it and go, and then we can go on holiday in Austria for a few
Yeah.
days. You
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
So that's that, and then yeah, UTMB end of the summer. So that's
Amazing.
those are the two that are in. I would like to get one in sort of like maybe March time, March. But that's normally just to sort of see where my fit. That's not going to be a biggie. That's just to sort of
Yeah.
see where my fitness is at, and
Mm.
probably try and get like do one a bit not on the south coast, but maybe the
Yeah.
south coast. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see how. I can't get honestly. I feel so behind having been to the Spine and the Arc of Attrition. My life admin is like literally
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
all over the
So,
place. Yeah, because it's so close together. Yeah. Are
and are you
you
going to are you going to the running show on Saturday?
that was going to be the next thing I asked you. You going? I haven't got plans to go this year. Like last year, I had got to go and see people and stuff. But I've kind of left it open this year to just sort of see how I feel, and then I could, because it's not that far for me, sort of thing. It's, I'm in like just outside Derby, so I can just like jump on the M42, and I'm there in like half an hour, so 40 minutes.
Ah,
So it's quite close. So I can sort of decide on a whim if I'm going to go Saturday afternoon. But are you going and being interviewed, are you?
no, 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 not at all. Nothing like that. But I
I
have
thought you
never
I
been.
thought you would have been. I thought you
No,
would
no,
have
no,
been.
no, 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 no. But we are ambassadors with Protein Rebel.
Ah, yes, got you. Yeah,
Who are they're just wonderful and very lucky to be part of that family. And we're going to go and do some going to go to their stand for a bit. And I've never been to the running show. I know there's like you hear so many stories about it as to
mm,
pros and like advanced like
yeah.
what's good and what's not. But
It is.
see,
It is. It is basically like an exhibition that you've been to before, but just with like exhibitions, you go to them and you're like, oh, I want to go this, I want to go do this, and you go and see it, and then you go and see it, and then you're like, oh, is that it now? That's just kind of so it is
Uh,
good. It is good, but it's not. The first time I went, I was like, oh, it's. I was a little bit underwhelmed, but it gets better every year, I think. So
yeah. Well, I think I'd say Susie Chan's a runner from down here. So
oh yeah,
so we got mutual friends. And so she's. I said I was trying to see her. She's on the main stage of it, so I'll try and give her a little bit of a cheeky wave.
yeah.
And then yeah,
Oh,
no,
you'll have. I mean, you'll get mobbed. So when people realise
no,
you're there,
I
you
won't.
will. You
No,
will.
I
You'll get
won't.
mobbed
No, I won't.
by
Oh,
people in
that's
the
so
know. By people
funny.
in the know. By people in the know.
No. Um,
You're gonna have to stop being this modest if you're gonna keep winning races.
That's very kind of you to say thank you, but I'll let you know. I'll be like, Sam, no one came and spoke to me. What were you chatting about?
Just wear a
So
t-shirt for saying
yeah,
I'm Sarah
Sarah
Page.
Page. Absolutely not. Oh, I think I've blushed. No, it'll be fun. But that's what we've had. We've had literally like the spine weekend. Then my sister plays hockey, so we went up to the Olympic. She had a match at the Olympic Park, which is
Oh
amazing to
wow.
go and take the girls up to go and see.
Mm.
So it was like spine weekend, Olympic Park, like day
Mm.
up, arc weekend, and then the running show. So literally, I'm
Yeah.
like crawling into
Chaos.
February. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's good. That means January's been and gone quick, but
yeah,
January's
yeah.
can be a
There's
long
been
month.
no January
So,
blues here.
yeah. No, just January celebrations.
Oh, fun. January fun and adventures.
Amazing. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I appreciate that you're a busy woman, with all these race wins. You just like everyone wants a piece of you, don't they? You get interviews here, there,
No,
and everywhere. So
I'm gonna go and see. I think my eldest daughter's upstairs, and I think she's doing some revision. So I think I'm gonna go and test her on that
oh,
instead.
the reality of
Yeah,
life comes
it's
back
so true. It's so true.
back
Yeah, now I've
back
got a
to
load
back
of
to
washing to
parenting.
hang. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Sure.
having me. It's been
No, it's been
like
great. I appreciate you giving up some time and coming on. And
oh, it's a pleasure.
I'll make you agree now that you've got to come back on when you win more races.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. We'll see. But
And
another
and
chat
I'll,
another time would be great.
yeah, definitely. And then obviously we'll plan in the pre-spine chat for next year.
I'm going to be straight on the
For
WhatsApp
everybody.
group going, oh my God, you won't believe what's just happened on this podcast.
Signed up. You signed
Yeah.
up.
Oh gosh, again, I feel all a bit flustered. We'll see.
Amazing. Well, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Appreciate you coming on. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye 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 bye.